Friends, good evening. As I said in the earlier video, electromagnetic radiations are useful in identifying the different organic compounds. Today we are going to see the first electromagnetic radiation, namely the radio waves, how they are useful in identifying or predicting the structure of an organic compound. Radio waves are used in nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, or in other words, we can call it as NMR spectroscopy. So, the concept of NMR spectroscopy is how this magnetic field as well as the radio waves, how they are coming into resonance and how they are helping to identify the nature of the compound. So, before entering into that, let us understand the terms what is meant by nuclear, magnetic, and resonance. Nuclear means it clearly says that this technique involves the usage or the interaction of the electromagnetic radiation with the nucleus, and magnetic means it involves the usage of magnetism, and resonance means the radio waves whichever we are giving will be in resonance with the magnetic field externally applied. So first of all, we can consider the hydrogen atom. So hydrogen atom has one proton and one electron. The proton is present in the nucleus, and the proton whichever is present is a spinning proton. And as we know that whenever any moiety which spins, it generates a magnetic field around itself. So when the proton is present inside the nucleus and when it spins inside the nucleus, it will generate a magnetic field around the nucleus. So this nucleus acts as a tiny bar magnet. So now consider this figure 2. What happens when another nucleus comes near this nucleus? What will happen? This nucleus is already is a magnet, and this will be oriented towards the south and north poles. And when another nucleus comes, it is another magnet. And what will happen when two magnets come near to each other? They will repel. And due to this, and when n number of nucleus comes near, each and every nucleus will repel each other, and they will settle down in a particular state, that is the lowest energy state. So this is the energy state in which the nucleus are present. Now comes the concept of magnetism. When we apply an external magnetic field, now what we want to do is we want to align or we want to quantize this, and we want to align all the protons in one particular direction. So we apply a magnetic field, we apply an external magnetic field, and which is strong enough to align all the nuclei in one particular direction or in one particular spin state, that is called as the alpha spin state. It is just for an understanding, we have called this that alpha spin state. And then now all these nuclei are aligned in one particular direction, that is they are in the alpha spin state. And now comes the concept of radio waves. We apply radio waves externally, and what will happen? These nuclei or these protons will absorb the radio waves energy, and by absorbing this radio waves energy, the spin of this nucleus will be flipped to 180 degree or to its opposite direction, like this. So the spin state whichever present initially will be flipped to the another spin state, and that is called as the beta spin state. So after this, once when we remove the externally applied radio waves energy from this system, the energy will be emitted from the beta spin state nucleus. The emitted energy will be recorded as a spectrum, or it will be recorded as a signal, and that is what we call it as NMR signal. Now, how this concept of nuclear magnetic resonance is going to be helpful for identifying the different organic compounds. See these following figures. In this, there are protons are present in all these compounds, and all these compounds are not in the same environment. That means one carbon is some protons are near the carbon, some protons are attached to more electronegative atom, like this, they are present in the different environments. That means the electronegativity experienced by the proton, by the nearby carbons of the proton, will be different for different environments. And due to this difference, what will happen, the amount of energy whichever is required to align the protons in one direction, as I said earlier, all the protons or all the protons whichever is present in the nucleus will be aligned in one direction by applying the external magnetic field. That amount of energy whichever is required to align these protons will be different for different moieties whichever is present here, due to the electronegativity difference present in the nearby atoms. And due to this difference, the amount of the energy required for the radio waves to flip from alpha spin state to the beta spin state also will be different. And due to this difference, the NMR signals will appear in different regions in the NMR spectrum. By this, we can know which kind of proton is present in the moiety. That means the electrons are shielding the protons from the external magnetic field, and this effect is called as the shielding effect. And the shielding, deshielding, what is meant by spin splitting, and what is meant by line spectrum, we'll see in the next video. So before winding up this video, let me summarize the important points whichever we have seen here. Nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy deals with nucleus, and proton is present inside the nucleus. It is a spinning proton. Due to its spin, it generates a magnetic moment around itself. When different nucleus comes nearby, the spins will be oriented in different direction, and they will settle down in a particular way that it has the least energy. When we apply an external magnetic field, all the protons will be aligned in one particular direction, that is called as the alpha spin. And when we apply radio waves, the alpha spin nucleus will be flipped to the beta spin state, and by removing the radio frequency, energy will be emitted, and that energy is recorded as a signal in the spectrum, and that spectrum we call it as NMR spectrum. And due to the different electronegative atoms which are present near the protons, the amount of energy absorbed will be different. And by knowing this difference, we can come to a conclusion about the nature of the protons present here. And by knowing the nature of protons, we can deduce the structure of the organic compound. Thank you. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel. Let us see in the next video. Thank you.